Hello, hello. Welcome to my space. I hope you are doing well. So, we are going to check what are the messages that we have now. I have a question for you. Would you prefer if I would open the 9 cards before I start the reading so I get immediately into the reading? This is what I want to know. I always open them in front of you because I kind of feel that, so you know that it's real, right? Even though you should obviously trust the person that you are following. But anyway, this is my question for you. Would you prefer for me to have the cards already open and so I give you the story immediately, or you enjoy seeing me opening the cards, right? So let me know in the comments, please. So let's get into it. Let's see what's going on here. Pride. This is the setting. Then we have wrong time in reverse. This is in the place of relationships, partnerships, choice. Somebody might have think that it was the wrong time, but it was not the wrong time. It might just have been an excuse, right? We have unprepared in the third place, which is the driving energy. This is the reality, in fact. It was not the wrong time. It was just that they were not prepared. Bad advice in the reverse. This is the foundation and the stability. Then we have, let's see, lack of commitment. This was the change that needed to occur. Somebody should have been more committed. Very interesting, the wrong time, right? Reckless in reverse. What must be done? Somebody needs to stop to be reckless. Let's take 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. So, in the healing place, we have perseverance. Then we have shame. This is in the karma. And then we have grudge in reverse for the outcome and the integration. So let's get into it. So somebody was very, very prideful. This is the reality of the situation. They were driven by their ego. And so when they might have pretended that it was a wrong time because of this, because of that, because of that, because of that, in fact, it was all a lie. They were not prepared to release of their pride and ego, right? In the foundation here, we have bad advice in reverse. Kind of feel that at the end of the day, they might have said that they have got a wrong advice. Maybe somebody telling them, yeah, it's not the right time, all of this. I kind of feel that it is backfiring. It might not have been true. The reality is that you were dealing here with somebody who had a lack of commitment. And this was what had to change. They needed to be committed. And they decided not to and find excuses. This is what we are seeing here, finding excuses. I kind of feel that at the end of the day, this person, even though they might not have shown it this way, right? Because we are talking here about somebody very prideful. At the end of the day, I kind of feel that this person might have been scared. Maybe they felt that you were too good for them, something like that. Yeah. They acted totally reckless, kind of feel that this is what is backfiring now. We have the shame here in the karma. So now they are very, very shameful. Listen, what I feel here, it is that we are talking about someone who obviously is unhealed. They were holding a grudge towards life itself, right? We are talking here about someone who is bitter. And I kind of feel that at the end of the day, they have operated from a very unhealed place. So they were finding excuses instead of doing the work. They were avoiding instead of confronting. They were acting in reckless ways in order to maintain their pride and ego. this is what they did. And while they thought that they could just push the timeline, right? They couldn't. They couldn't. So I kind of feel here that now it is too late, right? It is too late. The unprepared here is truly talking to me about somebody that at the end of the day, I kind of feel someone who might be praying to the highest, please bring me this, bring me that, I want this, I want that. But at the same time, like the highest have given them what they wanted, and instead of doing the work during the time that they were waiting to get what they wanted, they didn't do the work. And so when they received what they asked for, they were totally unprepared and they didn't know how to handle it. And so they just avoided, they made themselves excuses. I feel a lot of excuses here. Somebody truly making themselves excuses, what I find very, very interesting, and you can hear the smile on my face, it is that we have in the setting, the main subject here, it is somebody's pride, and their karma is shame, which is kind of, it's like the worst thing that can happen to someone who is prideful. It is to deal with shame, right? And this is exactly what is happening. This is karma. When we are talking about karma, I already said it. It is a neutral term. You are getting what you take out. So if you take out positive things, then you get good karma. If you are taking out negative things, then you get bad karma, and what we consider as good or bad is not especially what it is, right? Because many people are acting very good, they are very kind, they are very understanding, too much. And this is why at the end of the day they might be dealing with the situation that they don't understand, because they say, I am all about kindness, understanding, all those kind of things, but at the end of the day what they are doing, it is enabling, right? So also with the karma we might not always understand the lessons and feel that it is unfair, when in fact we might consider things to be good that are not good because we are not respecting ourselves, we are not doing the work with ourselves, or the right work, right? So here, very interesting. I'm very interested to get a little bit more information here about some of the cards, especially the grudge here, because for the rest, I kind of feel that it is self-explanatory, even though we will get into the tarot and get up, sorry about that. We will get more information here about all of this. Let's see. So, just a reminder, this is a collective reading, which means that it is a group reading, which means that it might be for you, it might be partly for you, and it might not be for you. So please take what resonates, leave the rest. Don't take on yourself a story that is not yours. I am here in order to give you a little bit more information, insights, or confirmation regarding a situation that you are already aware of. If I'm talking about masculines or feminines, I'm not talking about the gender, I'm talking about the energy from where someone is operating. So please apply it however it applies to the people in your life, and this can be past, present, or future. So let's see here. Tell me, what should the collective be aware of right now regarding this situation? This person, guided by pride, that founded a lot of excuses just to avoid the reality, and the reality is that the driving energy was that they were not prepared, right? So tell me here, pride, appa. Okay. 1 second, because we have the 7 of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles who flew out. I will put them back because they flew out. Let's see. Cards on the table, please. So, pride. Tell me about the pride. the Chariot, and the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, the energies are moving forward here. There is some kind of divine intervention, putting someone in a situation where they are in the cold. They might be rejected by people. Look here, we have somebody. You see, they are sad. People are going away from them. They are in the cold. People are letting them behind. Can you see the cards? Yes, you can. Here. Yes, you still can. Okay, that's good. So, let's see. Okay. Yeah, we have somebody here that was moving forward, and I kind of feel also here we have the reckless energy. So they were so prideful that they were just, moving forward without even paying attention to the hurt that they were causing. And I kind of feel here that the energy of their pride and their ego made them act in ways for people to also distance themselves from you, leaving you in the cold. Give me one more about the pride, please. Yeah, the High Priestess. Okay, I was asking, is it about them or is it about the collective? No, it is about you, my dear collective. They were just moving forward out of pride and ego. Their inner dialogue was all about protecting their image. And in order to protect their image, they were ready to do everything. And what they thought was the best thing to do, it was to put you in a very, very difficult situation, doing everything in their power for people to get away from you, for you to feel rejected, to feel that you have no help, that nobody's listening to you, that you have no opportunities coming your way. They wanted you to be sad, and it was out of pride. You might have said something or simply refuse to play their games, and because their pride couldn't handle it, they were dedicated here, dedicated to destroy you. This is what they wanted to do. Tell me here about the wrong time in reverse. Okay. It was the time for them to learn a lesson. The lesson was to stop being controlling. And they didn't do that. There was some kind of burden that they carried from the past that they needed to heal. As said, I kind of feel that this person prayed to get something, and when they got it, which might be a connection with you, a relationship with you, it might be something else, right? It might be that they just prayed. It might not be even related directly to you, but it might have been that they prayed for some kind of business opportunity, or they prayed to meet someone that they can truly trust. Whatever it may be, at the end of the day, you were the answer to their prayer, right? But they didn't learn the lessons. They didn't. So they might have said, yeah, it's the wrong time, but no, when you are asking for something to manifest, you are already supposed to be ready for this thing to manifest. And so the manifestation came, and then suddenly, oh, no, but I'm not ready. No, you are supposed to be ready. And if you are not ready, you are supposed to do the work. But it's not what they did. They were trying to control the situation here. King of Wands in reverse. Treating reality life like a tyrant. Everything has to be the way that they want, how they want it to be, and they were not ready to do the work, release burdens that they should have released, Might be talking here about someone who has a very toxic environment and they know it. They know it. They know that they are tolerating things that they shouldn't, that some people should get away from their life in order for them to be truly able to realize themselves. But it's not what they did. They stayed in the same mentality, being very prideful, acting from this place of pride. And I kind of feel that they were playing with the universe. The universe gave them what they wanted. But they said, oh, no, you know what? It's not the right time. I will decide when. I will decide how. Right? Yeah. And the universe is saying, no, it is not the wrong time. It is the right time. It is the right time. Tell me about the unprepared here, please. Yeah, they didn't work with you or they didn't work with the universe, while in fact, right, their abundance was with you, with treating you the right way. Right? At a certain moment, they have got some kind of information that they needed to commit themselves, that they needed to act in the right way regarding you. But they decided not to do that, right? Because in their inner narrative, they were not prepared. It was the wrong time, right? They were making all kind of excuses in order to not do what they were supposed to do. And it is truly to commit to their higher self, right? We have the Three of Pentacles in reverse, not working with the universe, not co-working with you or other people. This is working against the collective, against their higher self, right? So the Nine of Pentacles, abundance, happiness. This is what they wanted. They wanted stability. They wanted care. They had it with you, but they mistreated you. This is what they decided to do. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Regarding the bad advice, what are we getting with the bad advice? People, what will people think? I kind of feel, that we are here dealing with a person that is extremely arrogant. They are truly arrogant. I kind of feel the main character syndrome here, right? Someone who has no humility. No humility. With the Six of Wands here, what I truly feel, it is someone who is running after admiration and people's approval. This is what they are running after, right? I see a lot of pride, entitlement, arrogance. I'm the king of the world. This is what I see here with the Magician. We might be talking here about someone that their parents have told them that they were special, And so they think that they are special, that they are above other people. We might be talking about someone, for example, who has a very high IQ, right? Having a very high IQ, it is one form of intelligence. It is not showing the true intelligence. It is one form. I believe that everybody has developed a different kind of intelligence. Some people might not be book smart at all, but they are very street smart. Some people have a very good memory, which is helping them in many things, and others don't, but they have something else. You understand what I mean? So at the end of the day, I kind of feel here like somebody who considers themselves as being superior, maybe because their parents have told them that they were special. And so, they are running after approval. This is what they are running after. I'm truly seeing here those people clapping, and this person being so happy, to have the claps, right? So at the end of the day, what I feel here with the bad advice in reverse, it is that nobody has advised them anything. But every decision that they are taking it from an outsider's perspective, which might be totally delusional, right? They will do what they think looks cool. This is what they are doing. If it looks good to other people in their interpretation, right? And their interpretation is coming from a place of pride, which is kind of it distorts the reality of your perception. So yeah, they were all about I kind of feel a lot of control here. The King of Wands in reverse, it's about control. It's about feeling that they are in power, that they maintain some kind of status. I see the phrase in front of me, I don't chase, I attract. I hate this phrase. Nobody is supposed to be in the place of saying, I don't chase, I attract. The only idea of chasing, it is a karmic idea. What does it mean you don't chase? I attract. Like what does it even mean? Seriously. Like no, you are supposed to chase your happiness. Yes. Are you supposed to chase people? No, you are not. But who is even thinking in those terms? You understand? It is the whole phrase that is so narcissistic at the end. I don't know, maybe you don't agree with me, but for me, I kind of feel that just the idea of the phrase, like the person who made this phrase, it just doesn't make sense. Like what, you know, especially in relationship, what does it mean? I don't chase. Yeah. Anyway, it is kind of coming from a very ego-driven place to say something like that, right? This is what I feel. So, anyway, this being said here, there was no bad advice. The bad advice was them talking to themselves from a place of pride and thinking what other people will think. This is the bad advice. There was no bad advice. It was them with themselves. Let's get into the lack of commitment. Let's get a little bit more information here about that. It is written, hesitation and half-hearted efforts are limiting your success. Find a path you can fully commit to and jump in with both feet and increase success. You understand? I hear again the phrase, I don't chase, I attract. What does it mean? With this explanation, right? It's like I'm staying at the side. I'm on the side, right? I don't know. I find it so weak. I find this phrase to be, people who are not courageous, that are weak, that are telling themselves a narrative that makes them feel comfortable about themselves. This is what I feel about this phrase. So tell me here, lack of commitment. Lack of commitment, we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. Okay, very interesting. So they needed to be committed, right? This is what would have changed the whole path, right? The whole destiny. But they didn't do it. Lack of commitment. And they thought, right, with this mentality of I don't chase, I attract, right? They thought that their lack of commitment, right, just trying to do kind of magic. We have the magician here somewhere. Where is the magician? Here, the magician, right? They thought that they somehow could attract a kind of reality, right? And they thought that you would stay stuck with the wrong time here. I told you, I feel that the time is up. The time is up, right? Because they didn't commit themselves. They had to commit themselves. And so they thought that you would be totally stressed out, but you are not. And this is justice, and you are not because you understood what you are dealing with here. You might not have understood exactly what you are dealing with here, but I kind of feel that this person has dried you out, right? Maybe just the fact that they were stressing you out, you said, you know what? I deserve better. I don't need none of that, right? Show me here the reckless in reverse. What should we know about that? They needed to act from their heart space, and it is not what they did, right? We have the Ace of Cups here, right? Here I kind of see also the fire energy, you know? That there is a fire that was lit, and they needed to feed it. And instead of feeding it, they did the opposite, right? They did the opposite. They just didn't do anything, or whatever they did was, you know, it's like throwing wood, but they're throwing wood here, right? They're not throwing wood into the fire. So they just let the fire, you know, die. And they thought that they would be able to come back to it when it would be comfortable for them, when they would be prepared for it. Things don't come to your life when you are prepared for that. It doesn't. But here, especially, I kind of feel that it is someone who has made a prayer. They wanted something. I truly feel here, considering what we have here, the pride and the shame, this is so cause to effect that I truly feel here divine intervention, because it is so perfectly aligned, right? The karma of pride, it is shame. Like there is no more. It's so clean. It's so clean, right? So I truly feel here that you might have been very loving, very kind, very understanding. There was this awakening of something beautiful, and they just confused you. They confused you, like they didn't know what they wanted, what they didn't want. They were not clear, lack of commitment, acting in reckless ways, no stability, no foundation, nothing. I kind of feel, you know, somebody has said very prideful, arrogant, and at the end of the day, what it is hiding, it is someone who is unstable, emotionally immature, somebody who wants to be in full control, right? They want to be in full control. King of Wands. And they want so much to be in full control that this is their driving energy. And if they don't feel that they are in full control, they put it to the side and they think that they can come back to it whenever they want to come back to it. And so they are convincing themselves of whatever they need to convince themselves in order to create some kind of excuses. They might have even said that you were not committed, right? Because those kind of people, they tend to have double standards. They are not giving anything. You know, I'm going back to the phrase, I don't chase, I attract. So they think that they can attract with their kind of magic, right? When in fact it's empty, it's air. They are not doing anything, right? It's nothing. There is nothing there, right? And they think that because they are doing whatever they are doing that makes no sense, that nobody understands, that it's like la poudre de perlimpinpin, like it's like nothingness, right? They think that you are not committed when it's not that you are not committed. There is nothing to be committed to, right? So there is here confusion. This is what there is. Confusion. There is something here that needed to grow, that didn't grow because all they were serving you was confusion. It's all there is. Okay, perseverance. Let's see the perseverance. This is in the healing place. Yeah, they tend to let go as soon as it doesn't fit them, right? We are talking here about someone avoidant. Also, this phrase, right? I don't chase, I attract. There is also there something that is a little bit about avoidance. I don't want to chase because I am prideful, right? There is this element there of I'm too prideful to chase. Like, who am I to chase? You understand what I mean? So yeah, here, as soon as it is not comfortable for them, they are just letting go. This is what it is, right? While they are acting in ways that are totally unconventional, not respecting with the Hierophant, right, we are here with a person that wants authority, but that shouldn't have authority because they have no values, ethics, none of that. They are not acting from a traditional way. And what I understand here, it is that this person, the way that they are attracting is so unconventional that it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So they want to be in control. I truly feel here that it is a person that is acting from this place of I don't chase, I attract, except that it is all coming from a place of pride. It is all coming from a place of pride, and at the end of the day, they are not prepared. So even if they attract, they are unprepared. And so when you feel the imbalance, they are saying that you are not committed, when in fact they are not committed. We are talking here about someone who has double standards, right? And so I kind of feel that the grudge here at the end, it is that their lesson here, it is that because they didn't do what they were supposed to do, they were just continuing on the same path than before, not making the changes, right? Just continuing their own way, being very stubborn. I see a dog running after his tail, right? At the end of the day, you released, you have no grudge, which is the worst thing that can happen for somebody who is narcissistic. Here I kind of feel the narcissistic element, right? Somebody who is truly all about what people, I need people to celebrate me, I need people to applaud me, I think that I have some kind of special power, you know, all of those things. Why is it the worst for them? Because they need to feel that they have some kind of emotional impact on others. So obviously what they prefer is for you to praise them. This is what they want. They want to be seen as a hero. But if not a hero, the worst thing that can happen, it is indifference. If you don't care about them, this is the worst, because then they cannot impact you emotionally, and they need to impact you emotionally. So the fact that you are not even looking in their direction anymore, right? You don't even hold a grudge. They are not worse your grudge. They are not worse your the bad energy that you might have when you are thinking about them, because they are not worth it, right? This is forgiveness at the end of the day, right? This is forgiveness for self. You have forgiven for you just to don't carry this ugly energy inside of you. But then there is no bond anymore. They cannot impact you. They cannot. Yeah, the Hierophant. They wanted to have some kind of authority when they should have no authority. They should have no authority. It is not someone with who you can have a partnership. We might be talking about a romantic relationship, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. We might also be talking here about a business deal, for example, right? But it's somebody that you don't want to work with them because they are not a partner. They are prideful. It's all about pride. It's all about they need people to applaud them. It's not somebody that can be in a partnership. The partner is just there in order to serve their image. That's it. That's all, right? Yeah, so they might have persevered, but in their unhealed behaviors, right? Instead of doing the work, truly, it's not what they did. They convince themselves that they are doing what they are supposed to do because they are attracting, right? They are attracting, but in fact, they are not doing anything. They are not doing anything. They are just showing more and more how, at the end of the day, they are prideful. How they don't evolve, right? How they are not someone who should have any kind of authority. They shouldn't. Let's see here. Let's get into the shame, which is their karma. Ooh. Yeah, they cannot get away with it. And with the Seven of Swords in reverse, it means that whatever they did, right? You see the sneaky behavior here, right? I attract. You see the sneaky behavior here, right? It's exposed. So they thought that they would get praised for the way that they are acting, but in fact, they are seen for weak, somebody with a hidden agenda. Lying, stealing, manipulating, backstabbing, no limits. This is somebody self-centered, acting with a hidden agenda. And here the hidden agenda, from what I can feel, it is their pride. The pentacles in reverse. Right? Yeah, and they are being exposed because you released the devil in reverse. They have no more impact on you. You released. This is the shame. Maybe they said that you were so dependent, on them, that you were maybe obsessive, right? I want to get a little bit more here about this shame. Tell me more about the shame. Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, in the upright. Somebody loving, caring, stable, logical. Right? Very caring. Yeah. Very patient also. So you might have been very, very patient with this person. Right? Yeah. It might even be someone who have started to heal. And then something happened related to you. And just they say, okay, that's it, that's done, and they escape their healing. They stop doing what they were supposed to do because there is here the perseverance. Yeah, I truly feel here that we are talking about someone avoidant. This is what I feel. Someone who is avoidant, they are the opposite of persevering, right? When there is some kind of issue, whoops, they are escaping. And here we also know that they are, escaping, but we also know that they are doing it and that their inner dialogue is full of pride, right? They are not healing. They are not turning the mirror to themselves. They are not doing that, right? They are protecting inside of their inner dialogue. Whatever they are doing, they are justifying it. You know, it's like people saying, no, I ghosted this person, but it is because I am protecting my peace, you know, when in fact they are the toxic ones. So they are not protecting their peace. They are avoiding. They are using all those uh, lessons from that the collective might get. You know, sometimes I share this with you too. Sometimes, you know, if you know you tried everything and it's not working, so just, you know, you have to put up boundaries and protect yourself. That's it. That's all. You have tried everything. Here they haven't tried anything, but they are using those phrases in order to justify their behavior. So they are truly, you know, running after their tail. They are stuck in a cycle. So you needed to put an end to this cycle, right? And I kind of feel here that they didn't even allow you to put an ending to this cycle energetically, right? Because I have this phrase coming back again, and again. I don't chase, I attract. So I kind of feel that they were trying to bait you all the time in some kind of way. So you might have felt them in your energy all the time, because they were very prideful, so they wouldn't come towards you and do what they wanted to do, right? We are talking about somebody prideful here. They don't chase, they attract, right? And so they might have been in your energy all the time. All the time. Stalking. I kind of feel here stealing your privacy. You see how this person is taking a phone. And this woman also has a phone. So I kind of feel here, you know, I kind of also see someone putting a AirTag in this person's bag. You know, being all in your business because they cannot, they have to win. They have to win at all cost. You are just a prop to their ego and pride. This is what it is. Yeah, and they are dealing with the Queen of Pentacles. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. You represent stability, care, real love, unconditional love. But unconditional love, it is also not unconditional acceptance of ugly behaviors, right? Yeah, okay. So the shame here, it is that you are stable, you are good things are coming your way. You might be surrounded by comfort in some kind of way, and if not, it is coming, and this only shows, in fact, what this person did, that they were operating from a hidden agenda. And this hidden agenda, it is partly, at least, pride. And this is what they are ashamed of now, right? Because they thought that being prideful was something good, right? It meant that they had some kind of self-confidence, self-respect, when in fact it's not the case. Somebody who truly have self-respect, they are not prideful. Somebody who feels the need to present themselves as superior to others, it is because inside, in fact, they feel inferior. So they are trying to appear something. Somebody who's good with themselves, they don't put any energy into that. They don't care about appearing prideful. They don't care about having people, you know, telling them, good job, good job. It's nice to hear that you are doing a good job, right? Obviously. But it's not something that you are craving. Here we are talking about someone who is truly craving that. Okay, let's see here the grudge in reverse. We have the smear campaign here, the Knight of Swords in reverse, and we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, right? So it kind of feels that the Ten of Pentacles, it is a serious card because it is talking about the community and it is talking especially about the legacy, right? So I kind of feel here truly that we have someone who convinced themselves somehow that they were superior in some kind of way. And I want to say something, right? If you are a parent, right? You have to give confidence to your child, obviously, but if you are telling to your child that they are better than others, you are not helping them. You are confusing them. You are confusing them. Because, first of all, why? Why should they be better than others? What do they have that make them better than others? This is the first thing. A child wants to be part of others, and when you are saying that to them, what are you doing? You are distancing this child from others, first of all. So if you are saying to your child, you are the best, you are better than others, big mistake. And then later on, one day, when they will confront something, they won't be able to handle it. They won't be able to handle it because they think that they are superior to others. So you are not helping them at all. At the opposite, you are doing the opposite. They are good, they are doing good, it's important to motivate them, everything, but don't ever say to your child that they are better than others. Don't. Right? You can tell them that, if they are going through something and they are very, very hurt, you can tell them that people might be acting out of jealousy, out of this, out of that. All of this is okay, but making a child believe that they are superior to others, this is... You are destroying your child at the end of the day, right? This is what you are doing. Okay, so I want to get a little bit more into it here. Yeah, I kind of feel that the fact that you don't hold a grudge and that you have moved on has enlightened the reality of the smear campaign that this person was operating on you out of pride, right? Because we have here the community that is turning against the smear campaign, right? So with the grudge in reverse, I kind of feel that the fact that you are not holding a grudge, whatever they have said about you, it doesn't hold any weight anymore. Tell me more here, please, about this Ten of Pentacles in reverse with the Knight of Swords in reverse. Ten of Pentacles reverse, Knight of Swords reverse. What do you mean with the Ten of Pentacles? Strength in reverse, losing control. Yeah, they are seen as very unfair. Again, the Knight of Swords. Okay, so, yeah, they are seen as guilty, as liars. Yeah, how they have put you in a horrible situation. The wounded warrior. But you get out of it. Yeah, people know about their hidden agenda. Look, we have the Justice card here. Yeah, people see the truth about what was happening here. They see that you are full of love, doing good, spreading love, spreading positivity. Okay, so so, as said, their shame comes from the fact that while they were trying to get, the applause and the support of people seeing them as a hero, right? People are, in fact, talking shit about them now, about what they did. So they destroyed their legacy. They were all about, I will leave some kind of legacy of grandiosity, right? They are very prideful. It's the opposite that is happening now, right? And one of the reasons being, it is because people see you in this Queen of Pentacles energy. You are taking care of your garden, of your money, of your health, making yourself comfortable in whatever space you are. Very caring, loving, patient. There is a lot of patience here with the Queen of Pentacles. This is, a gardener. This is someone who will put a seed in the ground and they will wait to see it grow. So they might also see how patient you have been while you needed to heal from this person who was trying obsessively to trauma bond you. Okay. Okay. Let's get to closure. What should the collective know here for closure? Closure, please. Listen, whatever they were doing, we have the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands, both of them in reverse, right? So whatever they did, there was no good planning. It was like a fucked up plan. Like truly, I kind of truly feel that they were acting accordingly to their pride, There was no plan. It was a fucked up plan. Whatever plan they had, it didn't work. It was based on illusions, delusions, very bad choices. We are with the two here. And so nothing is coming their way. They haven't built any kind of foundation. With the two, you are making choices based on the reality, right? How to move forward, the plan that you want to move forward. Making the right choices. They didn't. So the Three of Wands, it is about getting the fruits of whatever you were planning. It is being patient, it is waiting, because you know that things are coming towards you, attracting. But in order to attract, you need to have a solid plan. Their plan was not solid. It was guided by pride. It was guided by power, ego, by having people recognize them in some kind of way. So fuck the plan, nothing is coming their way. That's it, that's all. Yeah. Let's see if we can get one more here. Give me one more, please. Yeah. It's over. Expired. You see it's written expired? It's over. It's done. It's done. Whatever idea they were trying to smear on other people, right? It's done. People see things very, very clearly. We know it with the Seven of Swords here, right? Yeah, it's kind of somebody who is trying to convince you of some kind of magic when you are all about reality, right? I'm trying to think of a better example. Someone who is trying to convince you to trust them when all they are showing it is that you cannot trust them. Something like that. Right? Yeah, something like that. It's over, it's done, they cannot continue to do what they were doing. Yeah, they lost their happily ever after. Yeah, your boundaries are up. Your boundaries are up. They are totally stressed out. because you are in control of the situation here, right? You see things very, very clearly. You have no nostalgia about them, about the past, because you see the truth very, very clearly. You see the truth very, very clearly. Yeah, you don't trust them. You know that they are very, very selfish. You don't trust them and you don't need them. I don't say that you are somebody who is operating from needing people, right? A lot of people of the collective are very independent, not by choice, right? But it's just a reality. Very independent. But yeah, at the end of the day, it kind of seems that you have alchemized this situation and they are stuck in a mental prison. Why? Because they were driven by pride and now they are dealing with shame. Yeah? Because they have been very, very unfair. They are seen as totally unbalanced. Unbalanced. Because people know now what they did to you, that you needed to protect yourself. Right? The Hermit also talks about knowledge and awareness. So there is also here knowledge and awareness, the moon in reverse. Whatever was done hidden behind closed doors, it is exposed. It is known. Right? Yeah, they might have said about you that you were depressed, but people can see that you are not depressed at all. That if you were depressed, it was because of what this person was doing, right? Persevering on doing the same bullshit all the time. We're doing the same bullshit all the time, yeah. It's over. It's over, the world. The cycle is over for you. And they will have to learn their lessons. And right now, with the shame here, they are going through the dark night of the soul. Does it mean that they will heal? Absolutely not. But they are being humbled. This is what going through the dark night of the soul means. You are humbled. What are you going to do now about that? This is the question. So listen, I will leave it here. I hope that it was helpful, that it was insightful, maybe even healing. I wish you a beautiful day, afternoon, evening, whenever you are watching this, and I'll see you in the comments. Bye.